Throne and Liberty, solo dungeons, huge weapon revamp, everything about the party content, and new class systems. Today in this video. I'm so hyped about this game. Ooh, you can't even imagine. And my name is PLK, you know that, right? We almost have videos every day about the Throne and Liberty and other mmorpgs, but Throne and Liberty right now is our focus. And you know what? It's not working if you're not subscribed. So you have to subscribe, you have to go down and subscribe and like the video, right? And then listen to my voice. Let's go. Alright boys, Korean G-Star happened a few days ago and NCSoft presented many new and super interesting content about the Throne and Liberty. I watched it and I translate it to English because it's in Korean. As good as I can, sorry. So what we have? Tidal Tower is a single-player instance dungeon and each floor have unique pattern to beat one-on-one. It's kind of dungeon where you fight through. Character strength or progress is very important here, also as the boss mechanics. Looks like dungeons are pretty challenging in regards of not just simple damage but to avoid boss hits and to know them well. Something like in Final Fantasy XIV, which is a good reference, right? So what we have? 11th floor called Maze of Death. As we have weapon system with two weapons simultaneously, in Showcase developers using Greatsword for the big damage and crossbows for the mobility. And you know what? You can use your skills without any delay. Let's look at the battle itself. To be honest, I was gladly surprised how the game feels. UI was changed and looks like more PC now, and also overall combat system feeling is pretty intense. Big W for the game. Character is adapting fast to the situation, changing to crossbow simultaneously, make a move or dodge the attack, debuff the boss and then switch back to the damage, to the greatsword. Now we have a maze phase. Morph into the wolf for a speed, and the goal is to find the exit as fast as possible, otherwise you will be killed by a huge AoE attack. While we completed the maze, we dodged some attacks and dashed to the boss to finish the encounter. We also can see that yellow skills, which is defense skill, used properly with a perfect sign, defending the character and dealing additional damage to the boss, which adds super intense piece to the targeting combat system, because it's, targeting combat system is super outdated and super old. Everybody like the action combat system, but for the MMORPG with a huge sieges with like hundreds of people at one place at one time, targeting combat system is more effective? No, it's more understandable for the player, I can say. But they make the targeting combat system with this intense defense, combo, sparring and blocks, which is one more big W as well. Like if you can use this skill properly, you could win in some low chance battle for yourself. And looks like maze will be repeated before you will finish the boss, but developers mentioned that the maze will be more and more complicated each time, so better to finish fast. And done. Well, as I said, I have pretty good feeling of the combat today, really like the changes of the gameplay. That was level 11 of Tidal Tower. As I understand, we will have around 20 levels of this tower, and you just battle through all these bosses to the top, like in Mortal Kombat, right? Now, NCSoft also showed to us 8th floor. Boss is the Flame Death Wizard. And we are using combination of longbow and daggers. Longbow for the damage and distance, and daggers for the fast stabs and the back teleportation. And also, developers mentioned that the daggers are super for stationary targets. And you know that you can bind target by the longbow skill. So, looks like pretty good combination. Developers also mentioned that the logic behind the floors is every boss could be better countered with different combinations of weapons. Let's see. I really love impact effects from the shots and skills in NCSoft games. You can feel every impact of the shots by the bow. Every shot have a little camera shake. Good. This boss have mechanics of the flames roaming the ground, and we keep seeing this perfect defense text. Is it like block button from action combat games? Feels like that. And we also see daggers that are used right away with the teleportation plus backstab skill. Well, if the attributes doesn't connect to weapons, I definitely want to try Mage, which is staff plus daggers. Ooh, that will be cool combination. What do you want to use, guys? Comment below. And by the way, I have an account, everything is working, I pre-create my character, so 7th of December we will start. Also, character always use morph to move on the arena to avoid fire AoE skills. That definitely adding some cool layer to game traversal system. You also can jump and morph to bird to avoid some big areas on the ground. This boss is more simple and straight with the mechanics than previous one. Still, the battle looks fun and short. That's what I like. Why bother spending 10 minutes on something that could be super entertaining and fast, like 1-2 minutes of solo dungeon? It's not the party content, so it should be, fast. Developers also mentioned that all area attacks will be somehow hinted to the players by the boss, so you'll feel that something will happen and you need to move. Also, they talked about something like every boss fireball attack was different, and some of them could be repelled, like we saw, others no. And then, when you break the defense of the boss, you can do big damage in short time. That is why daggers were pretty good here. Overall, in this tower we will see around 20 bosses, as I said, that will be random each time, or will change some mechanics. Next is instance dungeon for 6 players called Cursed Ignorance and revamped weapon system. Alright. And right away we see that we could have 6 players in the party. Less than in Lineage 2, but still big number for mmorpg. Now you can imagine different possibilities with weapons combinations in one party, which will enhance each other, like buffs, debuffs, and etc. And now the huge one, NCSoft revamped weapon system one more time. Listen, that's super important for solo and for party content. We have skills setting window on the screen. 2 weapons, sword and shield and daggers. 24 active skills and 16 passive skills overall for 2 weapons. And we need to choose only 12 active skills and 8 passive skills for our character. That is where build will super diverse for different situations, even with 2 weapon combination situation. Big W for this. I think it will keep things fresh and interesting. That will be fun time to test all the different possibilities and option, boys, definitely. So, where to come on 7th of December. What do you think about the system? Do you like it or not? What possibilities can you imagine with party content? How you can change all this stuff? Ooh, comment below. And don't forget to subscribe, So, developers said that it's first time they ever revealed 6 party member thing for Throne and Liberty. And it's super big. Now we understand how the party content will work. In Lineage 2M, it was only 4 party members, and it was super small. No buffs, no diversity, so 6, it's more and more diverse. Cool. So, the typical preparation for dungeon will be party is deciding on weapon combination, and then you're adapting your skill set to other party members to align on the approach. Interesting? Really like it. That is definitely add much more flexibility to the party gameplay. Okay, let's start. And we have boss right away. Looks like all instant dungeons are boss oriented, which is honestly good, because you will spend hours grinding mobs, and here you just came for good fight and reward. We have some AoE yellow cracks on the floor. These things will stun you, so avoiding AoE attacks you need to be cautious to avoid these things as well. Pretty straightforward boss at the beginning. But in the next phase, few other simple but interactive mechanics will appear, like red mark which will detonate at some point of time, and it could be on the player as well, so party have to coordinate movement and change location constantly. One more time, something like we have in Final Fantasy XIV, which is pretty good reference for the boss fights. At some point of time, yellow cracks turn off and the party have to move from huge AoE. Developers also mentioned one more time that all the AoE spells will be hinted by some colors, pulsating red for bombs, purple for poison, and etc. Look at that. How one player in a wolf morph is just barely dodging AoE poison breath. That is definitely looks fun. And closer the boss to there's faster recharge of all his big AoE will become. So more movement, more intense till the end. Developers even said that the red bombs will be doubled on the party at the same time, poison breath as well. It became pretty intense in the end. Check this out.
브레스인데 2번 연속 쓰죠.
근데 균열이
자 이번에 체력 많지 않았어요. 한 번 더. 자 지금 여기 스킬. 자 피하고.
Yeah, check this out. This is pretty intense in the end. Somebody definitely failed the run. Somebody in the comments said that it will be not fun to play as a healer with the 2 healing skills. Well, look like it will be pretty fun on the bosses, and also second weapon will be fully fledged used by you. So, I don't see limited numbers of heal and buffs as a downside. I will say it better to have 24 active skills and 16 passive skills to choose between and make different combinations of weapon and skills than just have 30 active skills and try to figure out what is happening on your Excel table on the screen like in World of Warcraft right now. It's too complicated. But still, this number of skills is much more than, for example, in New World, where you have, super limited. And it's active combat. Here you have targeting combat system, which is, different balance, different efficiency, and all this stuff. Alright, so for me it looks like we have some content for solo and small parties to spend your time every day. Revamped weapon system looks promising, and overall combat and bosses were pretty intense. I liked what I see. What do you guys think about that? Comment below, and like if you like. Next video will be about the raids. We still have this big part of the raids during the G-Star showcase. So let's check what raids will bring to us, because it's super interesting. This is the end game, right? This is the end game content. And I was happy to see you guys. One more time, thank you for your support. My channel is growing super fast these 2 weeks about the Throne and Liberty. Like 10 times faster than it was before. Love you. Subscribe, like, and I will see you next time. Bye!